it's nice for me to have something a little bit not necessarily PvP. Oh my God, we're starting the patch notes like right now.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the Ruler of the Heavens update
Is that
show.
fine
I'm
on the
Ryan
audio?
Aggro Bailey. I'll
Quieter,
be your host.
louder?
And for those of you that were watching on Mixer, you already got a chance to see some of the teaser action for Olorun. For the rest of you, you have to wait until the end side of the update show. But don't worry, we got plenty of stuff to hold you over until then. Got great skins, of course, some balance changes you're going to want to pay attention to.
Yeah, you
Project
are.
Olympus stuff. We'll touch on some Smite Blitz news as well if you guys have been keeping up with our mobile game. So make sure you tune in for that. But first, want to stop in and talk to Travis, one of the big wigs here for Titan. Oh, excuse me. Before we go to Travis,
Oh, not going to Travis. That's a lie.
Don't be chomping the bit too much. We got skin previews to do. We're going to start it off with Death Lotus Dodgy. Looking good there. Tiger's Fury Achilles, one that was spoiled on Twitter and got a lot of love. Clockwork Chaos Discordia.
Okay.
Mothman AMC
All right,
will be
I'm
haunting
down.
my nightmares forever. Seraph Horus, my personal favorite card art of the show. Biohacker Chernobog and Biohacker Kali. You're getting a 2-for-1 on this card art. And then Plushie Jormungandr. You know it was coming, and it's still amazing. How could we not do the Plushie? And Vigilante Susano.
There's going to be so many Yorms in my game. There's going to be so many.
He's looking sweet on that one. As I mentioned, I do have Travis standing by here with me from the Titan team. Travis, the big producer for us.
I like Travis.
Travis, you wanted to give us an update on some of the things
that
the community was asking for that we are working on.
Yeah, today I'm bringing good news. As a matter of fact, if I'm on the show, it's probably good news.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good start.
Basically how that works.
Yeah, if it's bad news, I'll probably send like AJ or.
And as soon as we see AJ, we're like, oh boy.
It's actually a fact.
Here we go. But Travis, all good news.
Yeah. So I guess towards the end of last year, we decided to shift some resources to begin working on some of the more, I guess, what's the word? More extreme god concepts that we were working on. Maybe some skins, putting more time into animations to deliver some VXGs and some really cool things. So anyway. Long story short, in order to accomplish those things, we had to shift resources away from in-a-match lobby animations and some of our color change card art. Okay. And I'm happy to say that I've been listening and paying attention, and I agree with the community. We are going to ask the team to bring those back. Starting with this release, we are going to do the in-a-match lobbies for Olorun, and all of the skins will have the in-a-match lobby treatments, and we'll be putting color change card art back into the game.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's exciting. It's something that the team is really rallying behind.
Cool.
It's taken a lot of work to kind of keep that high bar that we've set, but also work these back into the schedule. So it is going to take some time to catch up on the ones that we've missed, like over the last few releases.
Sure.
But this release
People
will have
have
all the
mentioned
content.
that a lot on, like,
we'll
the
have
Reddit,
those treatments, and then we'll be revisiting over the next couple of releases to kind of bring the other ones back up to par.
Perfect. So bear with us for a little bit. We're kind of getting everything rolling. So those will be retroactively added. Yeah. But for now, the future releases and things like that could be a focus.
Yes, that's right. Future releases will get the treatments. It might be a little bit different than before. So one of the reasons that we decided to do it in the first place was
it's a weird thing to
we
spend
kind
so
of
much
didn't have
time
really
on,
strong guidelines around how we were going to do
the
those
announcements
animations.
for basically.
Sometimes
when
it'll
you
be like
win
a
and lose
45-second
games,
looping animation
like
with
in
6
skins
characters.
used to have like
and other times
special
it would be a
things that
single
would
character
happen
for 5 seconds.
You know,
and so the cost between those two is
and like
drastically different.
The way
so we're put some
card art
guidelines
work
around
had special things on it, but basically they
maybe
stopped
we won't
doing
go
that.
so extreme as
it's
maybe
just some artwork
some of
stuff.
the I don't know,
just
Baron with 6 gods walking through a casket.
Right.
But we can still do potentially Arthur pulling swords out of rocks and something custom for each of the characters to bring out the personalities.
Perfect. All right. So make sure you guys are paying attention to those. Travis, thanks for delivering the good news for us here on the update show. I know you guys are all excited for Olorun, but we got a lot of great balance stuff coming up as well. And for that, we've got Finch and Pon standing by.
Ooh, right into the balance. I'm going to be in the way.
Thank you, Aggro. I know you all are probably used to Hindu Man being in this slot, but don't worry, we got you a bit of an upgrade today. It is absolutely going to be Finch here, but I'm not going to be going through the item and balance changes alone. I am joined by Pon. Take this here with you, Pon. Happy to have you here with me.
Yeah, it's
and
exciting.
There's some good stuff in here today. Definitely some exciting changes. Olorun, of course, exciting at the end, but some other stuff in here too. You definitely want to make sure that you're paying attention to. The first one that we're looking at, part of the Project Olympus, we're making some of these adjustments here. It looks like this one specifically on console, and just some nice things that kind of touch up their life a little bit for them. So console players now be able to access a unique set of text-only VGS commands in the console lobby to communicate with each other.
Yeah,
Custom
so when
chat
you're
options
last pick in your
Why
rank
is
lobby,
Pond and them
you
always
see
so
4
quiet?
mages.
They're always so
there,
much
you can
quieter.
be like, yeah, we didn't need mages. There's a VGX for that.
Compared to
so when you're in the lobby, you have access to these commands. They're all custom tailored to be like, I need this character, or we should pick this, or maybe we should ban, and then you can actually do custom text, or we should ban, let's say King Arthur. We should ban King Arthur. You can actually type that in and present to your team. So basically, opening up communication for console players in lobbies.
Yeah, like you were saying, I think it accesses a custom message through the VGS menu in the same way that console players chat with each other in game.
I guess this is cool. My
Some
chat's
options
saying
in there
this
so
is
you
a
all can
good
communicate
thing.
a little bit better. Hopefully, that will improve some of your matches. Not the only thing, though, that we've shown a little bit of love here on the social side. The friends list now has a decline all button on the request section. That's pretty big, right? If you had a whole lot of friends in there, everybody adding you, now you don't have to go through and individually click them.
Yeah, you can just decline.
I don't have to ever go back
Makes that
through
much easier.
and
Looks like there's also
hand
voice communications now
delete
supported
for
on
3
Nintendo
hours
Switch as well. So that's a pretty big
every
deal, too.
friend
so they can communicate
request
with everyone
because
else,
it
just like everyone
broke
else has
my
already been able to
Smite
do.
game.
All right, should be just easy enough for them. We'll move things right along here, Pon. Let me go to
change
this second sheet.
ever.
Looks like this one is about matchmaking, but specifically about crossplay here on this one. So, did you want to talk about this one a little bit, or?
Yeah, we can talk about it a little bit more. So we introduced crossplay, which has a lot of benefits, and the biggest one is bringing all the players together to be able to play together.
This is interesting.
But there are some things that we had to do to make sure that it functioned, and also gave control to players so that they could choose what they wanted to be doing. But with that comes different buckets that we put people into, like kind of matchmaking, and that can split pools. It can make some issues where like maybe I don't want to play with I want to just play with Xbox players. You can be potentially in a very restricted pool where matchmaking can suffer. Or similarly, if also you're in a low population region, you can also be in a situation where like you might have some problems with matchmaking due to the crossplay functionality and how people set their options. And so we're just simplifying it. So players will be heavily favored to be in their own pool. So like if you're an Xbox player, you'll be heavily favored to play with other Xbox players, but you do have the option to party up with people on PC. You can crossplay whenever you want. And so this is hopefully bringing the best of both worlds for crossplay and for people who want to be more on their own platform or have specific other requirements. Crossplay is there, but matchmaking hopefully will be more favored towards
I'm a little bit
people who are
confused
on
as
your
to
similar
what
control scheme mainly.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of go through it. Players are much more likely to match with players of their own input type, unless you're queuing in a crossplay party, and then parties will kind of default to whatever the majority is within that party, like keyboard and mouse or controller type.
And I use Xbox as the example there, but any crossplay-enabled platform is basically
saying
control
less
scheme
crossplay.
specific.
Is that what I'm getting?
Right. So you'll be more likely to be then with that input type, and
You're
if keyboard
more
and match and
likely
gamepad are
generically to be
tied,
queued with
then
people
keyboard and match
of
games
your
are the ones that
platform.
it'll
That
default
seems
to
like
in that
less
case.
crossplay generic.
That's not the only thing though that we got going on. Naja is getting a little bit of love here as well. I think you were saying that there was some gods you were going through that people thought were.
Oh yeah, Naja got his big Project Olympus.
Yep,
up.
Jingtian, Kakolin, and now Naja.
Papa's
They
looking
were
handsome,
Travis actually
dude.
posted
My goodness.
the thread asking for what is the buggiest gods, and we've now
I
hit the
don't know
top
what's
3.
happening.
Naja is going to be the final one on that
He's
list.
looking pretty
So
good.
a lot of stuff got changed for him. Ring taunts now bounces correctly to and from Loki decoy, so that is one scenario where it behaves correctly. Artillery sash got a lot of changes from what you're showing me here. No longer affected by DR. Naja no longer travels in the air with knocked up targets. If you quickly flick your camera with the ability, the FX and the ability itself no longer desync. And there's new FX for the AoE damage of this ability for all the skins.
Yeah, and that was one thing that wasn't very clear. Like some people would get sashed and they'd walk out and they actually wouldn't take any damage. And they're like, why didn't I take any damage? Well, it's because Naja lands and does damage around, and now that's clearly conveyed.
Right. It should be much easier for you all to know what's going on. He even got a little bit of extra stuff here, too. Flaming Spear no longer causes an extra basic attack animation to fire. Windfire Wheel should now feel more reliable in a lot of situations, too. That one got touched. Just make sure that you all are going through for more detailed lists of some of the stuff that was done to help out with Naja.
Yep, and specifically the Flaming Spear one, because just saying an extra basic attack animation would fire doesn't necessarily explain what the situation was. If you've ever been playing Naja and your basic attack and you use Flaming Spear and then suddenly your basic attacks feel desynced to what they're actually doing.
All the time.
Like the final hit happens, but you just did normal damage, and then you do a normal swing, and then the final hit AoE damage happens. We fixed a specific scenario where that occurred. There are other situations in the game where you can get your auto attacks desynced. This was just one of them, but it should fix the majority of issues Naja players were having. And then we're also diving into other characters that have that kind of desync between their basic attacks and what they're actually doing, and seeing what we can do to address those cases individually.
Yeah, I think there was even something about Raw, maybe in that kind of a similar situation too. So very interesting that all that stuff's getting taken care of.
Good.
But on now to item balance.
There we
Not
go.
too much here, but definitely some stuff you want to make sure you're making note of for your games at home. First thing, Odysseus' bow decreased base damage from 30 to 15. So this is just the base damage here on the item, right? Yeah.
Odysseus bow is one of those items that like a lot of people kind of slept on for a long time, and we've buffed it over time, and now it's become a very core staple. You rush it, you get a lot of attack speed, you get the ability to trade effectively because you get that chain lightning bounce.
Right.
And the chain lightning bounce already scales based off your in-hand power, not your total physical power. So just by having some basic attack damage, it's already doing 30 plus some 50% of your basic attack damage.
That's a really big
We're just toning down
early
the base
game
damage
nerf
so that the
for it.
early game it can
That's
better
like the
compete
third
directly
item
against other
Odie bow
starts the
rush
hunters
nerf.
might choose, so it's not the dominating start.
It'll still be a great item like 5th, but that's
so obviously then
rushed
bow also
nerf right
getting
there.
that change, decreased base damage from 20 to 15 to kind of keep them in line. This is the tier 2 leading up to the Odysseus' bow. Not the only thing though in the hunter realm that's getting some changes there. Malice has also gotten some changes, decreased cost from 3,000 to 2,650. That's actually a lot that Malice has been brought down, and increased cooldown reduction from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. I imagine this is to try and help it compete a little more with Deathbringer.
Yeah, so Malice and Deathbringer have always kind of been tied together in like cost and like the focus of this one's more like raw crit damage versus maybe crit utility.
Okay.
But just raw crit damage is too good of a stat.
I don't know if that's
Increase how
gonna
much damage your
matter,
critical
but it's
strikes do, It's just really
interesting.
difficult to compete with it, and so we're kind of desyncing Malice from Deathbringer.
I'll have to like
Malice is going to
actually
just be
look at it
cheaper,
again.
Crit efficient
You know.
option. The stats are much more reliable for like the 2650 cost that we're moving it to, and we're also making the passive a bit better, so you can actually, because it is kind of an odd playstyle to opt into. So if you're going to opt into that kind of odd playstyle, we want you to be rewarded.
Check it out.
Yeah, but that
If they
still
buff
leaves
other
Deathbringer sort of
crit
as a premium
items,
option up there
with
at the 3K
maybe,
mark.
you know.
All right, so now to move on to some items that might affect mages a little bit more than Malice would.
I
Doom
don't
Orb
know if by
has
itself
gotten a
it's gonna
change here,
matter.
decreased cost from 3,200 to 3,000. So that one should be a little bit more purchasable in your build.
Yeah,
That's
power
gonna help
movement
do
speed
more
is
of
a
a
really
lot.
good stat combination.
Turns out, yeah.
And so when
it
we
is.
released it, we put it at
Yeah,
a very high
buddy.
premium. Internal
Okay.
early balance testing, some early feedback that we got suggested that was going to be very strong, and then as it kind of played out, it just that cost
It
is
was just
too
too
much.
expensive.
We're going to make
It was
it
too
match other
expensive.
things like Ratatouille in cost. It's not going to be above that.
Yeah, just probably wouldn't have been competing quite at that price point anyway. Next up,
It might be relevant now to
This one,
buy.
I think, though, just a text change, updated description to better convey this item only
Might
affects
just be
healing
relevant.
abilities. The functionality of the item has not changed at all.
Correct.
Yeah, pretty
Simple as that.
Pretty simple
whatever.
stuff there on that one. Then Gym of Isolation. So if you all are tired, I suppose if Merlin's causing you a whole lot of pain, then you can rejoice.
Gem of
Decrease the movement
Iso
speed
nerf.
slow from 25% to 20%,
Okay.
and decrease movement speed slow duration from 2
Oh
seconds to
my
1 second.
God.
So this is nice.
Yeah,
I
Gem is one of those
already
items
didn't
that
like
once
that
built, it
item.
can become
Now I
very, very frustrating
really
very quickly.
don't like it.
We want to make sure
Wow.
that in situations where you're getting hit by like the one-off ability,
That's a
it does slow you, but it
huge
just-
nerf.
It gives you some more room to kind of move around and avoid other incoming abilities.
Right.
Also, the duration is very short.
That's
so if you're a
into the
character that can't
ground,
keep applying
dude.
this, or if you're not a
That
character
1
has a
second
damage over time
duration
effect,
nerf
it's
at
going
the
to be
end, that's into
a
the
bit
ground.
worse off for you.
That's right. There were some gods where maybe like one bit of it would tick on you, and that would feel maybe too punishing.
Yeah.
That's
this should help
big.
you out kind of in that case if you only get hit by a little bit.
I
But
might buy it
then
on
to
Pooch, and
god
I might buy it on
balance this time,
Zon
we're
Queen
gonna
now.
take a look at
That's
some
it.
gods. We're gonna
That's
start
it.
off like we always do
Nobody
at the very
else
top
is
of the
gonna
alphabet.
proc it unless
Achilles
you're
is the one we're
relevant,
going to look
really.
at here first. He's got a couple of changes. Gift of the Gods, protections per level increased from 1.5
Oh, they're buffing
to
Achilles?
2, and Shield of Achilles increased falling off damage from 70% to 85%. This is an interesting pawn. I believe we just nerfed him. This is
Yes.
in different spots, though. Right.
So Achilles specifically had a very overwhelming presence, especially in the Pro League. He was like the go-to warrior, and that was largely driven by the amount of power that he got, especially from Radiant Glory. He just gained so much raw power that it became very difficult to deal with him. He could be a bruiser and a tank at the same time,
Okay.
and just completely one-shot people. We toned that down. We knew it was going to hit him, but it hit him harder.
It
than
hit
we
him really
expected.
hard.
Right.
Achilles got
And
hit
so we
really
want to
hard.
bring some
To
power
be fair,
back
screw
to him,
that.
but
He
not
was
in
mad for
ways
so
that
long.
either reintroduce some visual confusion, like the basic attack range was a big point of discussion. The animation didn't really convey the hit area properly, and it's not an advantage we generally give to players unless the animation does really fit that. So rather than bring back those things that don't either necessarily fit with his current animations or bring back the frustration of him being able to get a huge percentage increase of power, we're focused on improving his ability to be a tank through his passive. That's 10 extra protections at max level, which is pretty solid.
Right.
As well as Shield of Achilles, the fall off damage. This should help make up
Okay.
some of the power loss that he
We'll
did
see.
experience during the
We'll see
laning
how it
phase.
goes.
He can do a bit more damage in that ranged area, get a bit more splash damage out.
Well, the solo lane feels like it's all Osiris's now. Maybe Achilles can compete a little better. Next up is Ao Kwang. He should be getting a nerf here with this one. Now, the first thing is that they fixed the text on the final swing. It's a full 1 second, just as a short pre-fire on that one. So that's just, letting you all know, clarifying that one for you. But the actual substance here, I feel like, of what's been changed here for Ao Kwang. Dragon's Call decreased slow on range attack from 30% to 20%, 10% taken off, and Wild Storm has the cooldown increased from 7 seconds to 9 seconds.
Ooh. Yeah, so Alcong has been basically third top ban for like a year. There's two people kind of cycling above. It's been Merlin and King Arthur for a really long time.
Decent one right there.
But as those characters have been cycled out, we've hit a lot of them. Alquang has just kind of
That's a big nerf. 2 seconds on Wild Storm
so we feel like it's time to address him more directly.
That's a big nerf.
So this is a pretty good one. That slow in particular could feel pretty egregious. So that one has been changed. Next up is going to be Athena, getting a little bit more upfront damage, it looks like, here on her shield wall. Increase that initial damage from 60 up to 200 to 70 to 230, as well as decrease the explosion damage from 80 to 360 to 70 to 330.
Yeah, so she's the first of the Guardians that we're going to be addressing this patch. There's a lot of Guardians who've been underperforming.
Right.
And so there's a lot of Guardians on this list that are going to be brought up either in additional CC or a bit more just kind of like damage potential. So that was
underwhelming.
In some cases, both. And Athena's shield wall, specifically the change here is the first initial hit hits a bit harder, but all that damage has been taken from the second hit. The second hit still hits the hardest, so you want to try and get the whole thing, but it's not so one-sided where sometimes you just got the initial hit and you didn't feel like you brought much to the fight at all.
It's all right.
If your taunt was down or you couldn't actually secure the follow-up damage. So it's just a bit more reliable
damage.
I don't love
and
then the preemptive strike change is the big one.
So not an overall change on the shield wall, though, in terms of
basically like a
damage is exactly the same if you hit all of it. It's just a bit
the damage is exactly the same?
Like I said, preemptive strike is the one where the slow duration increased from 1.25 to 2.5 seconds to just 2.5 seconds at all ranks. That really changes the way I feel like you can even level when you're playing.
That's
you
nice.
can feel a bit better about maxing the
now
taunt
that's a buff,
you can
ladies and gentlemen.
Going to 3 to get the increased
that's
damage.
What I'm talking about.
If you really wanted that slow to last long so your carries could get a really dogpile target, you need to rank that up. And now it's just you put a point in it and it slows.
That's a thick buff.
Should make life a little bit easier than for our Athena players. I'm sure you all are excited out there for her, but like you said, not the only Guardian that's getting a little bit of love. Cerberus is the next one up here. He's had some changes as well. The first one is to Soul Explosion, decreased the health of Soul from 95 to 230 to 60 to 220, and increased the heal per god from 30 to 110 to 40 to 140. Also decreased the cooldown from 18 to 16 seconds. Looks like this should make it a little bit easier to actually kill or break those ghosts.
Yeah, Cerberus, if you're playing other game modes, you might be like, why Cerberus? But if you're playing Conquest, Cerberus has been really struggling to find a good support role or a good solo role. He occasionally can flex in there, but he's been largely pushed out.
It's definitely his worst skill.
His ability to clear the minion wave, especially the souls he generates, so that he can heal more quickly. If he chooses to be aggressive against gods, he gets more of a reward for it, and then the reduced cooldown lets him engage or disengage more reliably.
Cerberus never gets played anyway right now.
Right, that's right. The Stygian Torment cooldown has also been brought down from 115 to 95 seconds to 100 seconds at all ranks there as well. So a lot shorter initially, even though it is a little bit longer.
Fine by me.
Yeah, especially in Conquest where you're not necessarily max level for most of the game.
Right.
When you decide to rotate, you'll have access to the ultimate more reliably. But in the very late stages of the game, it's going to be a little bit weaker, but we feel that the majority of it being quicker for most of your game is overall net buff for this ability.
I think so too. You probably won't feel it as much as you'll enjoy having a little bit of extra love there in the early game. So that's Cerberus done. On to Cucullin we go. Still in the seas, at least for these gods. Barbed Spear and also Ground Slam. Ulti cooldown got reduced. An adjustment here. Increase the scaling from 45% to 55%. So if you're willing to invest a little bit more into damage and not safety, your Cucullin will do some more damage.
Yeah, he's kind of been out of the meta for a while, and we recently did our bug pass on it. And I'm sure we'll go over this when we do the balance report in between patches.
Sure.
But he's a character that has been struggling, has been kind of pushed out of the lane, and when we did the bug fixes, he actually saw quite a big improvement, which is great because that means those bug fixes we did tangibly made his gameplay feel more smooth. I presume that means his
other form is also getting buffed, right?
But even after those changes, he still is a little bit underperforming. We don't think he's going to necessarily be able to come into the solo lane without some additional help. And so that's what this focus on, increased scaling.
It's a dangerous road to go down.
Cucullin lovers should have a pretty easy time. On to Freya we go. Looks like this one's just essentially a fix with an issue on this one on Northern Lights, where she was healing with this ability more than intended. Okay, we don't like that. Glad that's been changed.
So that's been fixed, and we're going to continue to
watch
Freya's
performance. How many iterations has Freya healed more than intended?
This will affect her because
every single iteration of Freya.
But that has been fixed.
Okay, so that one's taken care of. Less scary now. On to Habwa we go. He's the next one that Mage that we're taking a look at. Water Cannon has been decreased damage from 70 to 290 to 70 to 270, as well as Atlas of the Yellow River, decreased movement speed and slow from 30 to 50% to 25 to 45%.
Yep, so Water Cannon definitely chunks, especially early on. We want to make you invest a little bit more into magical power before it starts hitting as hard as it currently does. And then Atlas of the Yellow River is just a very potent ability.
Yes, it's good.
You lay down a carpet, you can't be slowed. You just move really fast, enemies are really slowed.
Also, your team,
Yeah. So 5% reduction doesn't seem like necessarily a lot, but it's also
don't
both
see
ways.
this
so this
affecting
is
Hebo at all.
When you water carpet someone, if you're chasing someone,
at the end of the game,
20
damage.
Before,
Who cares? You're all about your scaling.
So this has a little bit bigger impact than
5%.
You won't catch me arguing with Hebo getting a little bit of nerf, so I'm right there with you on that one, Pond. Next,
I
on to
don't really
Horus,
say
one of our
that
new gods.
changing Hebo
And I
at
think he's
all.
not the only one. We might be looking at Set too, so both these new gods getting a little bit of changes here. But for Horus specifically,
that a
it's
buff?
updraft that's been changed. Decrease the cooldown from 18 to 14 to 16 to 14. So this seems specifically aimed towards Horus's early game.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of discussion about Set and Horus in the community about like whether they should get buffs or not. And the big thing that we want to look at is after all the bug fixes that we've done after their release, we feel like we have enough data to kind of see where they are positioned, and people have had a lot of time to experiment. And we want to make targeted changes that are more like feels buffs, where Horus had a very big feeling of in the early game, the cooldown on his one was just really long.
Yeah.
And it made it so it was very difficult to trade.
It is a
we don't want to
really
increase his
good
power
ability,
the whole game,
though.
and so it's
We
going
should
to scale in
factor
the same
that
cooldown
in.
it currently does. But it's going to start off a bit lower to kind of ease that. So a buff, but a more targeted buff for feels. And Set has a very similar story going on.
That's right. We'll be getting to
We'll
Set in
see.
just a moment. But before that, Jormungandr, the World Serpent, needs a little bit of adjustment. I kind of like what you all did with this one. This is a nerf to the 2 specifically. Consuming Bellow decreased the bonus base damage from 20 to 60 to 20 to 40. Hopefully this will target maybe like the mage or like even the like kind of weird hybrid build and so on.
Yeah, if you're rushing a Void Stone or you're rushing some Pen and playing mid-Yorm, the 2 damage really ramps up. And so like at level 8, level 9, when you have this fully maxed out, if you catch someone out in 3 cloud pools, they are going to take a lot of damage. And so this is targeted towards addressing that, making it so the damage feels a bit more fair, and addressing some of the builds that we've seen that have been overperforming, where like support Yorm and more solo Yorms have been they've been doing well, but the kind of mid or the very Pen rush heavy Yorms have been overperforming.
That's
Fine
right.
by
You still
me.
get plenty of value out of the World Serpent for the knockups and all the other stuff that he brings, all the slows. This just brings down the damage a bit. So certainly Yorm players can sell some fun. On to Khepri we go. The Bug God getting some love here as well. Okay, so that's good. Like to see that.
Yeah.
Rising Dawn, increased damage per tick from 10 to 22 to 10 to 26.
So
it
not
looks
the
like
level
here.
1
Solar
damage
Flare.
at all.
The Root also got the cooldown decrease from 16 to 14 seconds.
Okay.
And then the Ultimate Scarab's Blessing had the ability text updated to state it does not revive executed targets. I didn't realize that wasn't in there. So now you all know. Yeah.
Now it's actually explicitly said.
Right.
But Khepri's another one of those characters that we looked at and were like, as a Guardian, it was just underperforming.
Right.
Lots of changes have happened to Khepri over the whole history of Khepri, largely related to the ultimate, but also the damage on the 2. We're bringing some of that damage back, but not in the early game. We're making it so you have to invest into this before
I think Khepri's underrated
it is
with
a
the
lot
right
of damage
comp.
that you're
With
bringing
the
to
right
the
comp.
mini wave.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But
Give
we
him
want to
a
make sure that
hyper
Khepri
carry.
can contribute a
Watch
bit
what
more during the
happens.
mid and late game. We want to make sure that Khepri has more control with the root, being able to root more often, and just hopefully that should push him into
That is interesting. I
kind
know,
of being a more
right,
popular
Devil?
pick for support.
Let's hope
After
so. I love
98
seeing some
patches of
out
Khepri
there, some
nerfs,
nice
he finally got
can
buffed.
be good. On to Set we go. You kind of talked about this a little bit earlier on, that he would also be getting some adjustments. What was sort of the idea with going?
I don't know which ability Relentless
So
is.
Set is a very kind of like hyper carry assassin. A lot of people have really adapted to playstyle, so we don't want to change that too much. But there are some things that players have felt frustration with. Largely the passive drops very quickly. Even if you're like actively fighting and you're trying to engage targets, a very quick disengage can immediately drop it. We want to make that a bit easier to maintain if you are actively fighting. Also, this will help you be able to take it between jungle camps, as long as you're good about positioning and good about how you travel. And then Kingslayer has a very long pre-fire time where you're kind of locked out of basic attack and you're using other abilities. You want to lower that significantly so that when you ult, you can immediately start making use of the ultimate benefits. You're not going to die because you're just locked in that.
That is ulti?
Okay, let's go through them specifically.
The cast time on his
Duration
ulti?
from 4 to 5 seconds. Again, the description I think said
3.
3 essentially, so it might feel like you're getting 2, but really just 1.
Just 1 second.
You're right.
Anything that takes away pre-fire time
Exactly
from an
right.
ulti
And then Kingslayer
is a
decreased
big
pre-fire time from
change.
0.8 to 0.33. Might not sound like a lot, but you can kind of feel it when you use it. You really want to get in there and start
That
swinging
is-
right
no,
away. So
I-
this
I'm
definitely
looking
helps
at it.
out.
That's-
And then
I
we go
feel
on
that.
to Amir.
That'll
if you're
be
asking if I'm seeing
interesting.
this Amir, I certainly am. Wherever you are out there, Patrick
Lower
Shove.
cooldown
Amir
on
with
your
the Frost
Frost
Breath has the
Breath.
cooldown reduced from 18 seconds to 16 seconds. This one seems easy enough. Just some Amir love. Yeah.
He brings some interesting control to the battlefield, but he
Interesting.
also doesn't necessarily have the most reliable team fight. You have to have a lot of setups to make that like really devastating. It's more of a kind of zone control.
Little lower cooldown
on
off Frost
access
Breath.
to more reliable hard
Little
crowd
Athena
control, make
buff.
sure that he can lock down targets. And
Return of the Guardians in the jungle.
Should be a little bit more
perhaps?
possible now. I feel like to get those off maybe more than once in a fight. Can be a little punishing if you're right there close to him too. So it's nice to have that one adjusted. That should do it though for balance. Let's go ahead and get this show back on over to Aggro. I know you guys want to hear more from him.
Finch, it was so nice to have you on the show. I wasn't insulted in any way. You and Pon seemed very happy to just talk about balance, and it was a nice, refreshing change of pace from someone else. I can't even remember their name now. Anyways, it's time for the skin section. For that, we got a bunch of the talented artists here at Titan Forge. We've got Mark, Tyler, and Chris joining us from left to right. Guys, let's start with Death Lotus Dodgy. This is a skin that I think people are going to really dig. It's kind of a different yet familiar aesthetic, I would say, for this one.
Right. It was one of those skins that was kind of like, well, why doesn't she have it already?
Yeah.
But Vivian did a really good job of taking something like that's a ninja that's usually just a black suit, black outfit, and she really elevated it here. So I'm anxious to see it in game.
Yeah, I'm big on the kind of blues, purple, pink, that whole color scheme. I'm super hyped for that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it wouldn't be a Smite skin without a little bit of background lore. We don't have Tina here on the couch with us, but still, I'm assuming she gave us some of these, though. I'm sure Isaiah also did some work on it. Now, Death Lotus Dodgy guards the Kitsune Shrine from the shadows, ready to strike down anyone who desecrates the sacred grounds. Yeah. That's kind of her shtick, I guess.
Put some epic announcer voice on that. Though.
Right, yeah. Well, are you saying my voice was not epic in the first place?
We need to get Morgan Freeman.
Bigger.
Okay, all right, fine. I see how it's going to be. There's only skin one, Tyler. We got a lot to go, man. You can't face it. But here is, of course, Death Lotus Dodgy. Chris, I feel like, Dodgy is a character that has a lot of really interesting
Dodgy doesn't really have spell effects
and all that kind of stuff. But her effects are a little bit more subtle, though I love this little clouding underneath her.
Are me and Aggro the same person?
Is she one of the harder ones to kind of get your effects right for?
No, I mean, in this case, it was kind of hard because I don't generally do like stylized effects, but in this case, I thought that it would really fit. So it's kind of a challenge.
She has basically her ulti.
Pushing my boundaries a little bit, but
that's
overall,
cool.
She's pretty good to work, except for the chains.
Yes, look at that
chains
shrine.
are not
That's
nice.
They're not nice.
No.
Well, they're chains. They're not supposed to be like super nice, I guess.
That's basically her entire like aesthetic though. Is like her ulti.
That seems like where all the detail for the Dodgy skins are. It's always
just goes on the pillar.
In the powwow. That's right.
Yeah, that's always a fun like little project, and they go crazy on them too. So
always,
it's really cool.
Those chains look plenty nice to me, Chris.
No, they're great when they work. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
I understand. It's a challenge for sure. But I think that this the stylized effects is just.
He just walked backwards. He's alive. He didn't go away for forever.
I love how these metal rings are kind of rolling off.
It's fine by me.
Too. She's got this really fluid movement.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice.
Yeah, normally Dodgy, the tails and everything like that, a big part of her lore, but looks like it's. I don't even know if she has it looks like she has one tail, and then a bunch of kind of streamers. Obviously, not the right word, but the metal dragon behind her.
It would still hurt if it hit you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get smacked with one of those. They look very heavy. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Death Lotus Dodgy.
Amazing! Good thing I just got a manicure. You impress me. Amazing! I'm the best around. Hey there, stranger. What will it be today? Do you remember these claws? Well, they remember you. I think I might have scarred all my lovers, mentally and physically.
Daddy issues.
Yeah, she should see someone. VXG as well for this skin. I got to check that out, of course. I'm always about all these.
Oh,
that is sweet.
Yeah.
No way, she gets to hop from tree to tree.
That's cool.
I thought she was just standing still. That is so much better.
That's ninja as hell.
Holy. That is.
Wow.
It's unfortunate that the rest of the skin is.
Right, well, that's so
how
are we
snap.
gonna open with this,
lotus
guys?
petals
Cool VXG, dude.
I love that.
The darker skybox as well, because you can't be jumping from tree to tree in the daytime.
No,
that's
you look silly.
It's only can be done when there's a moon out. Not a full moon, but certainly a nice crescent moon for her to be jumping around. That's incredible.
Otherwise, it's just yellow dot in the sky in the game.
Right,
So,
yeah, that's the way it's got to be. All right, Tiger's Fury Achilles next up on the list. This is one that a lot of people are super excited about. And the notes here kind of talk about the idea that, you know, he can change from armored to unarmored, but in this case, he's a shape-shifting cat man.
Were-tiger.
Yeah.
Were-tiger.
Yeah,
That's a
beast
much
mode.
cooler word than what I just said.
It's a shame Tina's in here for this one. She'd have a great
Yes,
time.
she would have some words to say for sure. That shield
That's
is
gorgeous.
All right,
shield.
Achilles.
so
All
cool.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
I want a shield with my face on it. That's just like huge like that. That would be
Do you
truly
like- do you
terrifying. No
like?
way anyone would be able to stand in the face of that. So when talking about when this character was first being concepted,
let's
or
spell
once
that
you got the
for me.
concept or working on the character art, I mean, were you guys like, where Tiger? What's
Well,
going on?
Where
here?
Tiger?
So the thing with Achilles, right, is he has two forms. And so we wanted to pick something that would really make it impactful.
far,
We've
so
done
good for
werewolf
me?
enough, and
So
so,
far,
is
so
everybody
good?
else. you know. There's an idea for a Minotaur, but then we thought maybe an arena that could get confusing or something like that. So Tiger. That's where we landed.
So Tiger, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. I think it's dope.
Yeah, I think you're
Turned out
absolutely
awesome.
right. You certainly nailed that one. It's just like a, why not? You know?
Yeah.
We can make him a
his
cool-looking tiger.
VEG,
I'm down with that.
if it's
I know
not
that this
your
character has been a
great,
blast with these
then
kinds of
I'm
things, too.
rioting.
Just like,
I'm
there's
actually
a lot of, like,
rioting.
really
if they
cool detail
miss
work
this
that goes into the
opportunity.
fur. There's a lot of fun studies that go
I'll be
into like
very
how
upset.
the face is going to work. You know, you can't just translate dude talking to like beast kind of emoting and stuff.
Right.
So that it's a cool challenge, and it turned out really cool here. So
Absolutely. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Tiger's
Prepared to
Fury
riot
Killers.
it.
Tonight we hunt! Attack! Defend the fire giant! You handle yourself well. I lead this pack. You can have a head start. The chase makes it more fun. Have no fear. My heel is no longer a weakness. Ooh, tummy rubs are a different story. No need to hold your applause.
Nicely done.
Fine.
There's got to be a cat
didn't
pun in
wanna
there
get
somewhere.
sued.
We'll
It's
show you
never
the other form
stopped
as
him
well,
before.
though I don't know. I mean, he's not quite as catty in this form. But he
Not
still looks
quite
sweet. I
as
mean,
catty.
he's got longer flowing hair. I see it. Okay.
Is he old? Is that
I don't know.
old
I
Achilles?
like the idea of the body paint kind of translating to the tiger stripes
Yeah.
too. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. All right. Next up, Clockwork Chaos Discordia. This one just looks so much fun. I mean, again, just a natural fit, it feels like.
He was cool while he was in tiger form.
I imagine that you guys in the
His human-
concept art team kind of
he should probably stay in tiger form, you know?
Steampunk is not something we've done too often. There's a few characters, but
Now
we
that
were
is
kinda
a
waiting
cool
until
skin.
there was
That right
right
there,
character to do
that
it.
I'm down
We
for.
saw that Discordia is definitely the right pick.
That's
So,
nifty.
That wing detail is just incredible.
yeah, this is
That's what I'm
you have
into.
to like look at the detail with a magnifying glass
The wind and the
to like
wings.
see all the
I'm into
cool
that.
stuff he's
The
put in there.
lighting on it.
Definitely.
I mean, it really does. Instead of those kind of
And Discordia can have
wings
some
that she has in
cool
normal
spell
stuff. I
effects.
mean, these are
Come
that's
on, baby, don't let me
like
down.
canvas. I
Kind
mean,
of
it's-
stretched
You can have
canvas,
some
right?
cool spell
Yeah,
effects.
that is the texture of it, the lighting. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How good that looks.
Yeah, the wings and even the dress too. Like the level of detail is just another level on this thing.
So, Chris, is that part of your
like the auto
effects team
attack.
that has to worry about making sure that it all kind of moves
I
the way it should?
love
or is
that.
more the
Oh,
character
no,
side?
luckily that's not us.
Big fan. Big
Because
fan
seems
of
like
that
a lot of stuff
ability.
you got to do, though. Certainly, you got a lot of stuff
That's
to do.
fine.
Anyways, that Unruly Magic looks amazing. Very, very cool with the little cogs.
That's cool.
Of course,
That's
it's
cool.
there
Of course.
Yeah, that's dope.
in that as well. Love that.
Yeah, I know the wings are always like a huge rigging challenge.
I bet.
Especially if
I like
they
it.
change quite a bit. Which for
The
this
question
thing,
is, do I like it
they look
enough
like
to
they
not
did, so.
throw that giant pufferfish
Dude,
dragon
it's so
thing
awesome.
at
I
somebody
love
with
this skin
Discordia?
already.
Whoa! Is it,
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah,
real
that's
question.
Instead of an apple, you got the kind of
don't
cog
know.
working
Don't know.
for it. Absolutely amazing.
It's got this like rotating mechanism.
Nice, yeah.
Very
cool.
neat. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Discordia.
I really like the one though.
Attack! Defend!
That different voice.
You're brilliant! Yeah! Spectacular!
Who's?
I'm a genius! I won't let a baddie like you hurt my friends! Wait till you see the bombs I've designed! I love coming up with new ideas. Have you heard about the I win button I designed? It only seems to work on talented people, though. Oh, you like my wings? I made them last night. Only took around 20 minutes. No issues. Yet.
This voice pack got
This
weird.
is gonna go perfectly with
I feel like this is either over my head or I don't know what's happening.
Still one of my favorite skins.
Squad.
Good mid-jungle combo there for you guys at home.
All right.
Mothman AMC. Guys, can I admit something to you? This skin scares me.
Yeah, it scares me too. I don't like looking at
the
it.
Mothman.
You
I
know,
don't like looking at it.
I don't. But I don't think I want to know.
It's,
Do you not like moths?
I don't know.
I don't.
Spoopy bugs?
Who does? Wait, who says yes to that?
I didn't
question?
realize
Somebody
that I
like
was
moths?
anti-moth, but I think I'm anti-moth.
Zoology here.
See, I grew up in Pittsburgh. That's too close.
I might be
That's too
anti-moth.
close to West Virginia. I'm not messing with that. This is horrifying,
So-
you
His
guys.
wings look really
So
nice.
good.
Oh, look at what is that? He doesn't need that.
So
That's
cool.
terrifying.
Yeah,
This thing
shout out
is,
to Kiana
like,
Hanlon
actually
concept
kinda
for
scary
this.
looking.
This turned out so
Oh my
cool
god,
with
look at the hive!
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, the hive is
horror.
creepy too!
For sure.
Yeah, horror more than anything else. This is kind of one of those, it's a
Wow.
modern legend sort of thing, so it's super cool.
That
to see
is.
it
Oh,
come
look at that auto
in Smite.
attack.
And
That's
I
sick.
love the red and black combo.
Oh
I do.
man,
I
the
just-
skin is so
I'm
cool,
a
but
sucker
I
for
also
that.
get
I'm
into
gonna
the
be so- I'm gonna be
heebie-jeebies
too
in like
scared.
real
That's all I'm
life.
saying. His wings are moving because normally
you
AMC's
can
wings are
see
a little
him.
bit smaller, right? And they don't move nearly
Right.
this much. That seems like a lot
Oh
more
man.
animation work there on
That's
the wings.
gonna be
They're very
a-
different to his normal flight.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
for
a
sure.
cool
Really,
flipping
really nice.
three.
Wow.
Oh
man, such a
no,
cool
I'm gonna
effect,
have to use the skin.
And
It's so
I'm
cool.
gonna use this AMC skin.
Oh
'cause it's so
no, I'm
cool,
gonna hate every
and I'm
second of
gonna
it.
spook
Oh
myself.
no.
It's scary.
My
Everything's
favorite
so
of the
great.
patch. I don't know. It's up there. I really like how this turned out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks
That
clean.
great.
Yeah.
You got your dread
That's just a-
stinger
that's
or
just a
whatever.
good
I don't know.
skin.
It's got a
There ain't no way
spooky
around it, folks.
somehow.
That's just a good skin.
Looks
That's
absolutely
well done.
incredible. Let's take a listen to the voice.
That's gonna
pack
be a
here from
big seller.
Mothman AMC.
Mayhem.
Yes.
Attack. Defend.
Okay.
I like the way you think. The nightmare never ends.
I feel like I hear bees or like moths in the back. You hear that?
Feel free to scream. It's such a soothing sound.
There's like a sound
Don't
effect in the
struggle.
background. Like
It'll
he's
be
buzzing.
over
He's
soon.
buzzing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that just the hive?
Fact,
Or is that
I
his
used to
voice
be a
pack that's
professional
buzzing?
moth magician.
Either way.
I've tried wearing clothes, but they always end up with little bite-sized holes.
Gross, man. I don't know. I just imagine like looking out my window.
Yeah,
at
I don't
night,
like
and
it
that's what
either.
I see. and I'm like,
Ugh.
oh,
I mean, I
guess
do,
I'm dead
but
now.
also,
There's nothing I can
ugh.
do about it.
Well, for several people, that was the case.
No,
So-
Tyler, don't do this to me. Sarah Forrest, this one's gonna put me in a much better mood. This, ever since we teased this card art a
understand
while
what
ago,
this
I
is.
have been so looking forward to this skin.
It just looks like
I mean,
horse.
this is like
Maybe I don't know what horse looks like.
majesty, yeah, epic. It just it brings all of it right away. Yeah. This must have been one
Oh,
where
cool.
you know,
Okay. In game, it looks cool.
those
That looks
wings
so
that-
cool in
He's got a
engine.
big
That's
crown that he doesn't
that
even
might
have to
look
put on his
cooler
head
in
'cause it just
game,
floats
actually.
behind him.
Right.
That is
Man.
awesome.
You like borrowed that from ISIS, it looks like.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, they're pretty similar.
Oh man, and the little like the detail with the icon kind of
Yeah.
floating to the surface of the crystal, like. Oh man, there's a lot to take in with this skin.
I feel like
Again, he was one
rarely
of
do
those
skins
who
look
was
better
like,
in game than the
angel
card
skin.
art.
And we were like, yeah, absolutely.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt about that one. Seems to be like a no-brainer for him. And just like
Oh,
the
the spell
default
effects look
horse
like
skin,
though.
man, every time I load in with him, I'm like, man, those wings are just
Yeah.
incredible.
Like swords popped up.
Targeter
That's
is
cool.
really cool just by itself.
Yeah,
Right.
seriously.
That's cool.
The blue and silver
I like it.
sort of look there for him. I love the
I like it a
spears that
lot.
come up whenever he does that that updraft,
Very
which
grandiose, yeah.
you'll be doing more often in
That's
the early
fine.
game.
Yeah,
with
that one
the
doesn't really
newest
have a spell
balance update.
effect, really.
Just, a little tie in there. Got to get it where you can. Horus has just been so much fun to play, and I feel like that I'm gonna feel even more regal as I float around the battlefield. Ooh, that symbol is awesome.
What do you expect?
What are those symbols? Are those a lore thing, or
I
are
think
they
those
just
are
like
just angel runes.
okay?
Yeah.
Angel runes.
I don't
I'm down.
know that they
Yeah.
mean
Do
anything.
you speak
yeah.
Celestial?
I don't.
Yeah.
Not yet.
No, no, I really don't. I cannot speak Celestial. There's another rune coming down. Ooh,
Alright,
the little
that's cool.
circle.
That's cool.
I think I just kind of realized that Horus
on the
doesn't really
ultimate
have
as he
that many
lands.
spell effects to work with.
It's really good. Nice.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah,
But the
I'm still
skin is
getting
cool.
over just how good these
The spell
ones
effects
look,
are
too.
fine.
I know.
They're spell
I know.
effects.
They're
Just the roll off and the
every
lighting,
Horus skin
everything.
forever. I'm gonna be like, man, those wings look so
But-
good.
Yeah.
But they all look good. They all do. All right, let's take a listen
All right,
here
that's
to
fine.
the voice pack for Seraph Horus.
Attack. Defend. You are glorious. Woohoo! Ha ha ha! Astounding. I am divinity itself. I was warned of a great evil, but before me lies only a miscreant.
Nice.
Come, I am looking for some amusement.
All right.
Every time a foe falls, an angel gets its wings. When my wings aren't thrashing my enemies, I use them to throw shade.
All right. I admit that got me a
Nicely
little
done
bit.
on that last one.
Got
I
me a little
have
bit.
appreciation for that. Again, this is the Battle for Olympus reward
did.
skin, so make
It
sure you
did
guys
give
are
me a
up
little,
to date
so.
on all those Battle for Olympus skins. And speaking of which, the ultimate Battle for Olympus
that was all right.
reward, the tier 5 for Kukulkan Khan, Winds of Change is coming.
Baby.
And there's the card art for it.
Are we going to get to see it?
My man looking clean 3 different ways. He's got 3 fits of the day. And
That
he's
is
looking good
way more
in every
updated
single
than
one
the
of
last
them.
time I've
We'll have
seen
more
it.
details on this one coming up soon, of course. But again, this is the Winds of Change Tier 5 Kukulkan Khan skin that is your reward for
Look at that
completing the
nighttime
Battle
one.
of
That one
Olympus
is
event.
creepy, dude.
Okay, let's go to some of our other skins in this update.
creepy.
Biohacker Chernobog.
I guess
This
that's
is
the only
one where
update
he's
we get on the
right
tier
there
5.
with Kali, and I feel like
so.
I have to do the epic voice you were talking about here, Tyler.
Yeah,
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one.
In a future era, an advanced genome project has allowed for the creation of the hybrid warriors Chernobog and Kali, enhancing their bodies with animal characteristics. Predatory and feral, Chernobog's animal DNA has taken over, making him a creature of the hunt.
You're in the garage?
Don't call us, we'll call you.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
I got to do what I can. You know, I'm doing my best over here. This one, you get the 2-for-1 on the card art, but man, those wings. Oh, shoots little DNA shots as well. That's amazing.
This was one I got to work on, and I just loved the idea of like putting different animals together and combining them with sci-fi tech. Like this kind of idea just has so many opportunities and directions to go down. So hopefully it's one we can keep doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It
Yeah,
looks amazing. I love the virus as the crystallized curses.
Yeah.
Up there.
Definitely kind of pushing our themes, you know. Like this is something I haven't seen anywhere else, and it's really exciting. I get to work on Kali.
That's
and
it.
it's the
I'm
same
out of the
kind thing.
garage. You saved me.
Yeah, I mean, this is certainly very unique. I completely agree that you don't see a lot of stuff like this, but it all ties together really, really well. You know what I mean? The effects colors of the nauseating green and some purple in there.
This came out great.
Dude, that looks sweet whenever he gets into the ultimate.
Anyway.
form. But the wings as well. I mean, such an interesting
man.
colored shift kind of as they go down.
Yeah, they have like this great little like
Oh, goodness.
lighting effect.
What did I
as
miss?
as they expand and contract.
Chernobog's
so it is really
again?
nice.
Yeah, I was trying to combine him with a bird and like a chameleon. A
Who
bunch
was
of
that?
different,
That's my little
patterns that
brother.
I was looking at.
Yeah,
That's cool. So,
absolutely. I totally
That's
get
my
that feel.
little
The
brother.
tail there as well. He does have a VXG.
I guess he
Let's
was
take a look at
driving
that
by
one.
or something.
Oh, he transforms. And then he
Ooh.
runs around.
runs.
Is this skin rad? I missed most of this skin. Is it rad? Because that's cool.
I mean, I know we do a lot of VXGs where it's like walk in.
It looks cool to me. I didn't get to see all the spell effects, but it looks cool to me.
And make him
It's pretty
run.
cool.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
he
gotta be a
shoots
lot different,
DNA.
right?
I can
Lapping
shoot
out.
DNA too.
Yeah, I forgot. I gave him raptor toes, and so apparently they went to town on that.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like to me. I love.
Oh man.
I love that you have that moment of setup too, where my teammate's gonna be like, "What's taking you so long to get out of base?" And I'm like, "I'm running. Calm down.
Let
you
me
think I'm
be a
gonna get there
dinosaur."
floating?" I don't think so. He's getting ready to go. Looks amazing. Let's take a listen to the VGS here.
Attack. Defend. Oh yes. Oh yes. Maybe I'll let you live. Perfection. I am the
That one
apex
just kind of came
predator.
out of nowhere.
Try to
Didn't
fight. I'm too
Didn't think about that one too long.
You should be honored. I'm too fast. Now pray for the greatest predator. I'm too ruthless. Ever since the experiment, I've been labeled a freak of nature.
Did you say furry? Was that a furry joke?
No. All right. Whenever I saw that it was going to be Biohacker Chernobog and Biohacker Kali, I was like, I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. And now I know what it means.
Did I miss the Kali one too?
I understand the
Or was that
premise,
just the Chernobog one?
and it is indeed cool.
But we should also note that we got a lot of complaints about the basic attack effects for a lot of his skins being hard to see. So we've gone back and we've updated those, so they should be a little easier to see. They have a darker trail, things like that. So.
That's right. Yeah, I do have a note here for Chernobog, and that's across all skins. So hopefully you guys will feel a little bit better.
Ooh,
with those, make sure you let us know. But here is Biohacker Kali, his
I'm
his
into
companion. More elegant and self-composed than her counterpart, but just as deadly.
Yeah, the idea
Turns
is,
out four
where
arms
he
also
has
works for
these
me.
kind of chameleon elements
knew?
and these predator kind of elements. She has this insectoid splicing going.
Yeah, most humans don't have an extra set of arms.
Most
Dude, you're right.
So
it's
I don't know if you guys noticed, there's more arms on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got 4 of them.
It's perfect for this character, the whole insect thing. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, and yeah, with those animations, it just looks.
That was a cool. Look at that effect on the weapon. Look at that. That is sick.
Orange and purple.
There's like a DNA strand on the jump.
She jumps,
that was
watch those orbs
cool.
closely. And if you do, you notice they turn to butterflies.
Fireflies.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh man.
Nice.
It's the little things like that.
Little things, yeah.
The little things.
That's a cool jump.
With the color scheme, we want them to be.
That's a
side by
really
side,
cool
you know?
jump.
We want them to kind of tie into each other. So.
Sure. Absolutely. Are those some more butterflies there on the incense as well? Looks like some purple ones. So you can combine those with your leap.
Oh, that's cool.
If you want to. That looks phenomenal.
I like it. I like the sound effect. I like the spell effects.
Skins like this.
What?
Whoa.
That is so cool.
Yo.
That's awesome.
I'm a huge sucker for any time that there's like the little
I don't know
words
what
that
to
pop
say.
up like that.
That's a great skin.
Tech Uller
That's a
skin,
high
whatever
quality
research
skin.
stands. I'm a sucker for that skin and the samples extraction or whatever like that. I'm all about it.
Also note that when she ults, she gets butterfly wings, which I know the effects artist that worked on this, Kyle, worked very hard on, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
It
I don't know what
looks
to say. That's a great
and
skin.
You're just gonna be able to chop people up with.
There's a lot of
butterfly
unique
wings
things in
on,
that skin. That's
which
all
is really
good.
a
That's all
win-win.
My
good.
dream come true, man.
Wow. That's an
For
impressive
you,
skin.
not for. I was gonna say for everybody.
Good job, spell effects people.
Let's listen to the voice pack here for Biohacker Kali.
Attack middle lane. Defend the fire giant. You are pretty cool. Sweet as nectar.
Yep, that'll do it.
I am splendid, aren't I?
That'll do it.
Don't fall too quickly. I need time for my experiments. Why the vial? It's actually my little lunchbox. Yum nectar. With all the weapons I want to use, I think I need to grow another appendage.
Appendage
You've heard
jokes.
the term buzzing with excitement, but she's really taking it.
Getting close there, Smite.
All right, Plushy Jormungandr next up on the list. One that I know everyone is going to be very excited about. I mean, we were talking about Angel Horus. Duh, of course that's going to be awesome. As soon as we were talking about Jormungandr, I was like, what troll skin are we going to make with this character?
It had to happen.
And it's
I love the little plushy
it's a
minions running away. That's
yarn
hilarious.
sock snake. And
Oh
it's so
my
much better
God.
than I thought it was going to be.
Holy cow.
At his base. It's a
Look
bunch
at
of
his googly
Yeah,
eyes.
he's got a
corpse pile?
Yeah, it's a corpse pile of minions.
Sack minion.
Who does this?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that
This is incredible.
Oh my gosh, the little one.
Yeah, he's scared, dude.
He's going to be there the whole game.
That's so good.
This turned out incredible. The googly eyes.
Yeah, googly eyes is
Man.
The yarn texture on his skin as well. Just, I mean, wow.
It's next level.
Yeah, it reads really, really
Oh,
well.
God, dude.
Why does he have a pile of corpses with him everywhere he goes? There's got to be somewhere else to put them.
Listen, Aggro, if you could do that, wouldn't you?
I mean, I guess, but the size difference just wouldn't work
Oh,
for me, I
it's
guess.
like a little
You're right.
rainbow or
Maybe that if I were as giant as Yor, maybe I would.
There is.
The Bella with a nice
house.
little rainbow.
Yeah, that rainbow's awesome.
Shout out to Haley on the character team for just all the work she put
I'm
into the
loving it.
yarn, like
I'm
having
loving
them
it.
weave in and out, and man, the details are so good.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that rainbow. That's fun.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy except for you, because now you're dead.
Those dead minions are
Uh-oh.
rough.
There it is.
Uh-oh.
Looks so good.
Yes.
You can't even be scared anymore. Like, normally Yorm kind of spooks me a bit as he's flying across the screen. This, I'm just like, oh, he's coming to hug me. Wait, did you see the googly eyes?
eyes.
Freak out
So
as he's
yeah.
going.
Oh, man.
Big
That's
fan.
amazing.
I love troll
That's
skins.
so great.
That is absolutely
I'm a
incredible.
fan.
Now, I do have a note
I
here
prefer troll
that
skins
we
to
should show
serious
the clap
skins.
emote.
And there's always more
So I wanna
serious
do
skins.
that
of course.
if we can. Now his normal clap emote,
are my
he
favorite
spits
type of
out
skin.
a minion and it claps for us, but that's a normal looking minion. He's got all these by his feet. Can he use one of those? Is my question. No, he's got another one. And
Oh,
this time it's with yarn. He's so happy.
Wow.
He must have like
They
some
really
cool
did.
couches in there. Oh, he
Cannonballs!
That's amazing. It must be a nice setup in there. I mean, cheap rent.
Yeah, actually,
that guy's way too
cannonballs
happy
back
to-
into the
to
mouth.
just be
I
there
mean,
and
it's
digest it.
nice and like fuzzy in there, you know? It's a nice little
Yeah.
home.
That's awesome.
great.
I love it. All right, let's listen to the
Oh,
voice pack
man.
for Plushy Jormungandr.
Attack left blade.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Yeah.
You really do.
That's not
Curses.
You
All
hate
right,
to
good
see
attempt,
it.
Pawn. Okay, we got one more.
You
Vigilante
hate to see it.
Susano. Is this
After
why we
all
have Hindu Men
that,
around
the
to
voice
keep
pack
Pawn
wasn't
line?
ready.
Well, I'm saying maybe
Blame
if
Pawn
Hindu would have
did.
been there, that might have been that voice pack might have been
Classic.
there. Vigilante Susano, though. Susano, one of my personal favorite characters, and I love this look. Like it's just outright cool. Like
yeah.
that's cool.
Oh, man, that mask. That mask is so cool.
The mask, the sword. He's parkouring, which everyone knows is super cool.
Of course.
He's got
Is
extra
that how that
swords
works?
just
Is
in
parkour
case.
super
yes,
cool?
the squat.
All right.
Looks amazing. Well, so this is a part of a new theme that we're going for. We got a lot of great input from the Olympians on a streetwear inspired look. What
Okay.
as a character artist, Mark, what is that kind of like, or concept artist, I should say? When you hear streetwear god, like what are you really going for?
We kind of experiment a little bit with the Xbalanque that came
Animation
out a
looks
while
pretty
ago,
cool.
and we like that, so we're like, it would really fit
I like the
Susano.
animations a lot.
And then this is
I like the
one
sound
that our
effects,
art
the
director
animations like a
Ben
lot.
actually just went to town on and just concepted himself and modeled it himself. So I think
Those effects are
yeah,
the
it's
blue
looking
and
awesome.
black. The Nemesis has a skin that has blue and black effects that I really like. This one,
I'm digging
very
it.
similar.
I thought the,
And yeah,
I thought
Tyler,
the
if you
skin
have-
itself was
have
kind of
any thoughts
okay,
as
but I'm
well
kind
on
of digging all
on
of the effects. and
streetwear
stuff.
god,
Yeah,
and how you get there.
I'm big on the like
Yeah.
like Tokyo Harajuku fashion stuff, and this kind of strikes at that note. And they're kind of about it's like fitted baggy clothing, you know, and it's really cool how it translated here.
Without a doubt, really, really sweet.
like
now he
it.
also has a unique new VXG. So these VXGs
Not my
will
favorite,
leave
not my least
tags
favorite. I
on
like
the
it.
ground. He's gonna tag it because that's what the cool
What?
kids do, I suppose. And these stay on the map.
Oh, nice.
For other people to look at. You can
God.
have up to 5 at any time, and they will live for the entire game.
Oh,
so,
man.
Pon, if you could do just like run me through a scenario here. Let's say I just invaded your speed buff, and I'm gonna tag it for you.
That's so
Go ahead and
BM.
head on over there, because this is where my
Oh,
tag
God,
is going
that's
to be.
so
I'm going to steal your
BM.
back harpies, tag them. I'm going to steal your blue buff, tag it. I'm going to secure a gold fury, I'm tagging them.
no.
Like, that's what I'm all about. And it's going to tilt me off the planet if anyone does it to me, but it's okay and funny if I do it.
Oh, yeah, of
Let's
course.
make sure that we're all on the same
Oh,
page here.
God.
If you think I will not stand here, wait to get out of combat, and then tag the ground in order
There
to
it
really
is.
send a message, then you don't know me very well. Yeah.
That's pretty BM.
Absolutely perfect.
That is
work there,
pretty
Bob.
Disrespect.
BM. I do say so
Let's take a
myself.
listen to the voice pack here for Vigilante Susano.
Attack! Defend! Yeah!
Oh, gosh.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh.
You're doing work! I'm pretty cool. Oh, so you think you're a hotshot, huh? Come on, man! Have some respect for others!
I don't know if my ears are bad, but I feel
Why
like
did
every
the
skin
hipster burn his
voice
tongue
pack
on
sounds
coffee?
the same.
Because he drank it before it was cool.
Oh, no. Maybe it's just me.
So edgy. And then I realized I'm the edgy one.
I think my ears just suck. I can never tell the difference between the voice packs.
I'm all about this skin.
I can never tell the difference.
About it. Those are the skins for this update show. Guys, thank you so much for joining me and talking about them. As I mentioned, if you haven't heard, we've been doing this game called Smite Blitz. It's an awesome mobile game. We just went through the technical alpha earlier this year, and phase 2 is starting today, but there's a lot of updates and things like that. So hi-rez log participated in a video for us to give us some of those updates. Let's hear them.
What's up, gods and goddesses? hi-rez log here with an update on Smite Blitz, the brand new mobile game set in the Smite universe. We've been blown away by how many of you participated in our technical alpha test on iOS and Android, and we've been hard at work making updates to the game based on your feedback. Here's some of the changes and fixes that we'll be making in our second technical alpha test. UI improvements for the game, including shortcuts for ability and equipment upgrading. We've updated the tutorials based on player feedback. We reworked the team formation buff system. Players can now activate buffs to their team by upgrading and using specific team compositions. And last, and certainly not least, we've improved the server and client stability. This was a big priority for us over the last month, and we're committed to solving all of the major technical issues that were discovered in the first phase. Again, thanks to everyone that sent in feedback from our previous technical alpha test. Our second test starts on June 12th, and we can't wait to have you playing with us again. Keep your eyes on Twitter and Facebook for ongoing updates throughout the test. If you're already signed up for the first phase of testing, you should automatically see an update come through when the second phase starts. If you're a new player, head over to playsmiteblitz.com and sign up via the Android or iOS buttons. Thanks for checking out Smite Blitz, and we'll see you on the battleground.
Wow, this is a really cool patch notes,
I
huh?
just blacked out there for a second. That was
Olorun's
crazy.
Be
I'm
going
back.
on
Wow.
later on today. And
that was weird.
We've got some cool community news for you as well. My name is Finch.
Nothing
You can
happened.
talk with me a little bit about it. I have
New God time, baby.
right here with me. So
New God time.
let's just get right into it, Isaiah. I'm
Most
sure you're doing well.
Let's get it.
What was the first thing going on? There was a community skin winner.
Yeah,
Talk to me
so
about
earlier this year we ran a community skin contest.
So
we had
close.
tons and tons of great artists submit their concepts, and I'm happy to announce the winner of the community skin contest for this year is Kitsune Artio by Fiona Art. A really, really awesome concept. So look forward to this Japanese-inspired Kitsune Artio skin coming soon.
She's going to be turning into that?
Exactly,
What?
right? It's going to be awesome.
Isaiah, I'm very excited now.
Right? Yeah.
And the human form is very cool, too. I don't want to undersell that. Well, great job, then. I think this was a
Little-
well-earned
Most
victory for them on
definitely,
this.
yeah. The community really loved that concept.
The only slight downside is that more RDO in my game will mean that I'm rooted and stunned and crippled a lot more often. But I think I can deal with it because that was a very good boy I just saw just now. So I'm very excited.
That's fine.
Yeah. That's good news. That's coming our way. That's not the only thing. Also, it looks like the Odyssey Tier 5 has finally come to an end.
Yeah,
Talk to me
so
about that.
I'm happy to announce the winner of this year's contest. So if you don't know, we started earlier this year. We had a 16-god bracket that went through. The community voted on. The grand finals matchup ended up being Baron Samdi versus Emir. And I am super excited to announce that the winner of this year's Odyssey Tier 5 skin is Symbiote Hunter Baron Samdi.
Yeah, no surprise at all. I agree with Aggro.
Okay.
Round of applause for everybody. Chat. Given the
Ymir
choices
has-
that we
Ymir
have
has
between
enough
Ymir and Baron
skins.
Samdi,
I'm
this
down
was the
for
correct
Baron.
pick. Ymir has roughly 1.2 million
Thank
skins.
you.
So it's a good
Thank you.
idea that Baron
Man, you
Samdi.
sat there and counted all of those?
I counted every
Ymir's
last
got
one of
too
them.
many
You had to come get
skins,
me earlier to
baby. He's
remind me
got
I
too
had
many.
this segment. I used
Too
that extra
many.
time to count all the Ymir skins we already have. Baron Samdi, though, getting this, and that is very
He
exciting.
doesn't need
I'm
any
looking forward
more
to that.
skins.
So yeah, I know the community.
Baron's
I
got
heard
like
all those
half a
Baron
skin.
fans on social media. They're super excited. But I've got one more thing to let you guys know about. This is your last chance to grab the Twitch Prime Hades bundle, Prince of
my God.
Darkness.
Do you guys
Hades.
know what
get
else
that
you can
bundle
do with Twitch
and all of
Prime?
the other Twitch Prime
I've
bundles
heard
we've,
that if you
gone
go to
through this year.
Incon
So the
stream
last day to claim that is on
and you
June
click
27th. So be
the
sure,
sub button,
get your
I heard
Twitch
you can
Prime
sub for
subscription,
free.
Claim that free
You get
loot so
like
can get it again.
30
Isaiah's really
emotes
looking out
for
y'all,
free.
and not letting y'all miss out on the
Every
free
month,
stuff
isn't that
there
crazy?
too. Bringing us
right.
some of the cool Baron
What a
Samdi
great
skin. That's a lot of
deal.
good stuff. You know
I
what
would
else
sub
Isaiah
to
is
that
doing? He's
Incon
leading
guy.
us right
And
into
for
it.
free?
I know
I
you'll
can't
be
believe
waiting.
it.
Yeah, so
Too
we
good
are
to
super
be true.
excited to introduce to you guys the newest king
Too
of
good to
Olympus.
be true. Look at that.
Long have I been content to simply bear witness. I am done watching. You do not know me, but you will.
This already looks broken, dude.
I am Olorun, and I am your king.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You can be the king of whatever you want to be, baby.
So sick. So
yeah,
cool.
buddy.
Olorun, the newest god coming
yeah,
to Smite.
buddy.
Of course, we've got to have a great team here to talk about bringing them in. We've got Clumsy, we've got Vivian, we've got Josh. Clumsy, of course, a designer for Smite. Vivian, a concept artist, and Josh.
Oh, did Clumsy make him?
Side.
So Clumsy made
Clumsy,
Merlin.
We'll start with you.
And I think
guy
Merlin's
kind of
so
charged
fun.
with bringing Olorun to Smite. Why Olorun?
Clumsy
first
loves
of all,
like mages and like.
Man, I'm
World
super
of
excited.
Warcraft,
Just
like
want to get that out of the way. I think that
RPG
cinematic is
characters.
awesome and sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Olorun, who is he? Well, he's the head of the Yoruba pantheon. So, we were thinking for a while what kind of other pantheons we want to bring to Smite, and it was tossed around. There's many different ones in Africa that we could bring. I think Yoruba and Olorun himself, who is the head of the pantheon, was really our clear-cut choice. In fact, technically, Olorun is not just a one god himself. He's a tripartite god. Okay. So he also is taken in the forms of Ludamare, who is the creator god, or is the created part of him, and Alofi, who is the conduit between the heavens and the earth. And we thought that Olorun would be our take inside Smite for the Yoruba pantheon, the first one, which I think we'll do a good job of.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks absolutely incredible. Vivian, for your side as a concept artist, you're kind of tasked with, hey, we want to put Olorun in Smite. What's he going to look like? What was that process like for you?
You guys ready for a mage that can crit?
There's not a specific image of him like a lot of the gods that you see like in Greek pantheon or Chinese pantheon.
Yeah,
so what we had to do is basically we really want to bring not only the Smite version of what this god is, his personality, but also showcase the actual culture behind the pantheon. So we focus a lot on the actual clothing of West Africa regions that actually practice the religion and transport that into our god. So the clothing we based it on is called agbada, which is actually a 4-part clothing that includes a really large flowing robe, a tunic, like a long shirt, pants, and a hat. And we took that and split up the robe into several pieces of cape as well as tabards so that he's really flowy, really airy, gives you that sky god feel. And also we really wanted to focus on the textile of the region, so we included a lot of embroidery in his clothing. So every piece of his clothing is covered with tiny detail.
Right.
That is something I think is new for our gods.
He looks absolutely incredible. Clumsy,
he does look pretty sick. I admit, he's got some serious aesthetic going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some serious power aesthetic.
He's now taking the place, Olorun, as the king of all of the gods.
He's the king of Olympus now, right? There was a throne that was empty, and he was watching, through all the different events that was happening, Ragnarok, the Divine Uprising, Hera's Odyssey, now recently with Horus and Set, and he saw these warring gods. He saw this time of turmoil, not just between the mortals, but the immortals as well. And he's usually, Olorun is a peaceful, he's a stoic, and he's a just god. But with all this frustration that's happening down in the mortal worlds, an immortal world, it was time, and there was a vacancy, and he's, as you saw in the cinematic, he's taking his place on the throne as the King of Kings.
You know me, I'm a big Zeus stan, but someone's got to replace him. Olorun's a pretty good start. I got to say, I love the way he looks. Should be able to get in game here pretty soon and take a look at what he looks like in the game itself.
I want to see him.
What is kind of his overall theming here? I mean, Vivian, you mentioned Sky God. Mm-hmm. What can we expect from Olorun in the gameplay that can kind of reflect that, Clumsy?
Well, Olorun is, I think we've spoiled a little bit earlier in the closer look.
Yo, he actually looks exactly like his card art.
So he is definitely very much a mage. He builds magical items, but we designed him first and foremost as a hunter in mind, and that's not just the way he attacks, but also his abilities as well.
Wow.
You're going to see as we go through the kit that he's designed as a hunter. You're going to feel and play as a hunter, even though you are technically a mage.
Okay, so lots of auto attacks. Keep that in mind as you're kind of watching the kit. But of course, as a mage, he'll have some pretty impactful abilities as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you read the spoiler blog, then you should know that the alt is going to do some stuff. But we will get there.
So yeah, I mean, what we've been doing recently is we just let
just loading into the game with him. He already has 5 kills.
A couple of abilities and
let Pon loose.
That's how broken he is.
Go for it.
Let's see what he got.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Okay.
Whoa, slow down! Okay, they literally slowed down.
Okay, I'm seeing it
now. Whoa!
Whoa!
Everybody slow down.
We got a little bit of everything in there.
So there's a lot going on. Let's slow it down and kind of talk to you guys about it first. Now, let's start with the passive.
Let's basic attacks first,
right.
yeah.
I love you want to talk about flowing and sky animation.
Yo, look at that animation on his auto. kind of hurts my eyes, but it's also the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, there was a lot of time and preparation built into his auto attacks. As you can see there, he's actually got like, we wanted to build up the fact that he's a tripartite god, not just in his lore, obviously, but in the rest of his kit. So what you have there is you have his other forms of himself in animations, in meshes, coming out with every single basic attack. That was not an easy task to do, and we didn't do it lightly, but I think it came out pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we also have the Morrigan. That's kind of another one of our gods. That's a multi-aspect, and hers are brought
exactly.
in.
She's got her sisters.
One, so this one kind of with
every
every
little
single
bonus
damage. You
damage.
can see those extra forms of Olorun. So let's go into the passive from here.
The passive's got a couple things going on.
The main thing. Let's start with what.
Okay.
Right there.
What you're seeing and hearing there, actually, because as we've spoiled as well, he's a mage hunter and he can crit.
Yep.
He does, so that doesn't mean he buys physical items, right? As you can see right there on the screen, he's got magical items built, and his passive is Touch of Fate. Upon reaching 150 magical power from items, although there's some circumstances where that might change, Olorun gains immediately 15% critical hit chance, and a further 1% for every 10 magical power that he buys from items. Now, note, because there's actually a lot of people speculating online, that his critical hits only hit for an extra 50%, so not the normal 100% that physical crits usually would hit for.
Okay, so we just saw Pon go back, buy some items. He was at 25% on his meter. Now 47%. So
yeah, exactly. You can see that on the meter. So he's got that 470 magical power. But again, it's from items, although that means Fafnir buff and there's other abilities out there that might increase your magical power. This won't increase your critical hit chance, but there's other things in the game sometimes that give you magical power from items. I believe red buff will actually give you a little boost through your magical power for items, and that'll help him out. Bancroft as well is actually pretty interesting, because if you lose health, you're actually gaining more magical power, giving him more crit chance.
Okay, so a good item on him for sure, the Bancroft's talent. 47, give him 5%. Now, don't take any of my red buffs when I'm playing Olorun.
Those are hits.
They get even better on
having. I do believe we also cap out his crit chance at a certain level.
Exactly. Around 70%, I believe, is his maximum crit chance, so you can't ever get to 100.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not crit at that point, just extra damage.
Right. Yeah, not exactly crit in that instance.
All right.
Let's start with the one then.
Very
Focused
interesting.
light. So he channels an orb in front of him. Seems to grow as it goes along.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this ability.
We wanted to do this kind of tech for a little while, and we thought this would be an awesome place to put it. So he actually has 2 seconds once he starts using this ability to refire, or you can hold up for the full 2 seconds, and it'll go off automatically. Once you've started casting this ability, you are not stopping it. You cannot right-click or cancel on your controller to stop this ability. It is going to fire. You just have to refire it. Although enemies can crowd control you.
I'm sorry, did that just crit?
And because you're not getting any benefit, you will be able to refire it again after that.
Okay, so you can get interrupted, but it won't go on cooldown because you're not getting any additional benefit.
Right, exactly.
This targeter is pretty unique, though. I mean, is the hitbox size changing as it's charging?
No, so there's 2 components. There's the one that grows outwards, and that's going to show you the range that the projectile will travel to. But the horizontal component, that's just kind of give you an element of the timing, how long you have left until it's going to automatically fire.
So good. It stops on first god hit, but it pierces minions?
Exactly. It stops on first god hit, pierces through minions, and as you can see, I think a few times there, it can also critically hit based off of his passive.
Yeah, that's kind of the one that I think people are going to get excited about. A crit on this ability that's can be very,
already
very
strong.
Range. Does it gain damage as you charge it, or does it always have the same
it'll
damage?
always be the same amount of damage, obviously going up per rank of your level, but it's not per travel.
Okay. Now, it also interacts with his 2, but we'll get there
we'll
after we go over the 2 itself. Go ahead.
Maybe we'll just talk a little bit about like the visuals for that, if you guys have any thoughts.
Yeah, no, our FX artist Ron did an amazing job with like just the orb projectile.
This god is so aesthetic, by the way. Everything about this
like
god right now is just aesthetic to the max.
Yeah, especially when there's already an ability in Kepri's 2, Rising Dawn, that is kind of supposed to be a rolling sun. It's you have to differentiate those.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And he is the creator of, and he is the heavenly god. We wanted to impart the solar orb a few times in different places in the skit.
47% crit chance.
Looks awesome there. The rolling sun on the one. Okay, number 2, overflowing divinity. So this is an attack speed stim.
Yeah, it's an attack speed stim with a couple of other components. So as you can see there, he empowers his bracers, and he's got this kind of FX UI element above him. So the first part of this is he just gains attack speed, a flat amount of attack speed. Remember, he's an ability hunter, and we felt that was pretty necessary for his kit. But the other thing that you can do there is, if you can see, his ability icon actually swaps. Now, the more enemies you hit successfully while you have the stim active, you're actually going to fuel that passive gauge meter there. So you're going to be gaining ammo while the stim is active. And then at any point during the stim or for 4 seconds afterwards, you can actually recast this ability to fire all of those projectiles that you've gathered in a sun orb.
So cool. It's just such a sweet ability to use. I did get a chance to playtest Olorun not too long ago, and this was the ability where I was like, man, I am having so much fun messing around with this.
Yeah.
Now, the easiest way to tell, just for a tip for you guys, is look at the buff bar right above your health, right above your HP bar. You'll see where you're getting how much longer you have the attack speed for, and then how much longer you can fire the suns for. But you don't have to fire the suns every time.
No, that's right. You can hold on.
Just like getting on a machine gun, dude.
If you want to really hold those 20 ammo charges. Also, as Spawn's about to show, there's a special interaction. If you have your 2 active and you fire through minions, or even at gods, you'll be able to stack up your your ammo count as well.
Okay, so a nice little combo there. Pop the 2, charge the 1, shoot it through the wave, and then
fire out that overflowing divinity.
Right.
It's also cool to note that for when you activate your stim, that's when your cooldown for this ability starts. So if you fire your sun early, it still has the same amount of cooldown time as if you lay it off late.
Okay, that's definitely good to know. You don't have to worry about firing it to mess with your cooldown or anything.
And a couple really quick last things as well. As you can see, the more ammo you have, the more the area of effect actually starts to randomize.
Yeah.
So you have a couple of shots in the middle, and then it starts moving out in different directions, and the rate of fire actually increases as well the more ammo you have. So there's a couple of different things there that are going to make this ability feel more like, explosive sun flares coming out from that sun above you. It shouldn't affect the balance of the ability too much, because the first hit is going to do the maximum amount of damage, and then every hit on the same target after that will actually do reduced damage to a very, very low minimum.
So you can't just get one shot, basically, if you're standing in it forever.
Oh, I mean, if you take all 20 shots, you're going to take a good amount of damage regardless.
Well, maybe we spoke a bit too soon on that one, but... and the other thing is that you can store your ammo, basically. You don't have to shoot the sun every time.
You don't have to shoot it immediately.
You can just hold on to those.
Basically, ready for a team fight, have 20 shots because that's the maximum.
Pretty good so far, if I do say so myself.
Unload that sun.
What's that HP sun that you can see above Olorun that's growing as well? Is that can only he see that, or can enemies see that?
No, enemies and allies will be able to see that as well. It's their way of knowing how many charges he kind of has ready at any time.
Okay, perfect. All right, the third ability, Consecration. This is really his only form of self-peel or anything like that.
This, takes place of what might be the movement ability slot. And it is an AoE around Olorun, where he expends the light within himself, because he is the divine celestial light, to knock back enemies and slow them, as well as to heal yourself and allies. So you can see there, he's taking a little bit of damage. It's a pretty slow, fair heal.
Healer?
And if you hit enemies, it's going to knock back and slow them. There's also an additional component, because Olorun, he's not just this god that dishes out the damage. He wants to be able to heal allies and gain something from it as well. That's kind of part of who he is. So every time you heal an ally, you gain an ally god. You actually gain a protections buff for every ally healed, and only you are getting that.
So you don't give it your whole team a prop buff.
No,
but he himself
you're getting it
gets
yourself, and it's a pretty short range.
A guardian right next to you trying to peel for you. You use the 3, you knock back the opposition.
Exactly.
Heal yourself, heal your ally,
protections.
and get yourself some protections as well.
All right.
Certainly fitting for the lore as well. Breathing life into humanity is a big part of his lore. So
all right, knock back, slow,
nicely, of course, on
heal, protection.
And then it combos pretty nicely when we get to the ult.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Well, let's fire it off again.
Oh my God, it's huge.
First of all, that animation there.
It's
he's got those.
Wow, that's
exactly.
a massive
We want to play that up once more. That's Oludumare and Olofi coming on the sides, creating the sanctified field with him.
Oh my
And this
goodness.
area, as we've said in many times, this is actually a massive area of time dilation. And what that means is that Olorun himself will be moving faster. He's going to be attacking faster. He's going to be casting faster. While all the enemies inside of this field will be moving slower. Projectiles will be going slower. Deployables will be going slower. They're going to be animating slower and casting slower. It's pretty crazy. But remember, allies are actually unaffected, although they'll be able to hit, of course, the enemies that are slowed down.
Sure. So it's not boosting your whole team. It's just boosting himself, but it's slowing the entire enemy team.
Oh my God,
we want you to feel
so
like
slow.
Keanu inside this thing.
That's literally
very nice. So
look at that Oda jump,
the movement
dude.
speed and attack
Look
speed
how slow
stats
this
at the bottom
Oda
left
jump
of the
is.
screen. He's not getting more attack speed.
No,
he's
just gaining time inside this area,
no, like in
basically.
this ability, like we
man.
aren't modifying move speed or anything like that. is straight up. You are just going faster because time is moving faster.
And it looked so you can use basically every one of your abilities. Synergizes beautifully.
Exactly. We designed his abilities in mind with
if
this
Nike
time
jumps into the air inside of this,
light,
dude, she won't come down until next game.
If it goes a set range,
you got to be very careful on that.
Focus light inside the time dilation fields.
It goes a little bit farther.
Yeah, give that a try and show off the range of focus light inside of Sanctified Field. Yeah, that goes
that is so
it
far.
goes quite a ways.
Now remember, it doesn't pierce walls. So
it doesn't go through walls.
Sniped across
it's not
going to
gain damage, but it does gain some range.
I'll say some insane range, and that's where that horizontal targeter as well really
helps that out. Exactly.
So you can tell when that's going to detonate.
Other things are your overflowing divinity. Obviously, you're going to be stacking it even faster because your attacks and projectiles are going faster. And the sun itself, well, it's going to be shooting out those projectiles even faster in Sanctified Field.
I don't know what to say.
You got 20 projectiles.
I literally don't know what to say.
Inside that field, that thing fires so fast.
And right there, you can see concentration. It's going to be knocking up those enemies, making them even slower as they raise up into the air. And he's actually going to get a little bit more healing as well, because that effect on him is going to be amplified too.
Yeah, it's also
his heals tick fast.
Yeah, just a little bit, because he's getting 30% increased time dilation while enemies are being slowed by 40%.
So it's worth noting that for his abilities like his 1 and his 2, those like trigger times that you have, those don't get affected by time dilation. Olorun has special time dilation rules for his kit that allows so that those buffs won't come off until they are ready to come off.
And his cooldowns don't come back faster in that area.
Yeah, cooldowns are unaffected.
Cooldowns are unaffected for all gods.
Now on the other side, you can become CC immune and ignore this. You saw Bellona Eagles rally at normal speed. That's not effective.
Hey, you know what? What a unique kit.
There's actually going to be a lot of interesting animation. Interactions with this. For example,
as far as balance,
it'll
we'll find out.
Last a little bit longer.
All I ever care about is unique and new. This
beads and ages for the Olorun
is unique
will actually
and
be
new.
a little bit quicker as well.
Yeah,
so there's going to be some very interesting things.
Anything that spices up the game, I'm always down for.
You run out of your Aegis faster. Again, only 30%, but.
Is he an instant ban and rank? Nobody's an instant ban and rank until we play them and see what their numbers are and scaling.
This ability was extremely ambitious. In fact, at Smite, I think we wanted to do some version of time dilation for literally years. We wanted to bring it back to you on some other kits, and this was our attempt at it. I think we've done a really good job. And what that means, because of how outrageously crazy this ability is that we expect there to be some odd interactions, and we have oh my god, the list that we had to go through for this, I think Josh has
before this
they expected to break the game.
By how many things I had to fix.
But we did a lot of different things to get ready.
They expected to break the game.
Ranked is one.
Lord forbid Morrigan turns into this character and then 2 people use it at the same time. Your game might actually just pause for forever.
Knocking them out, and we are well aware that
permanently stuck in that match.
Interactions. Ones that maybe are not intended from the gameplay side of things, but just let us know, and we'll have some known issues already out there on the patch notes, and we'll work on this together.
I definitely gotta give a shout out to gameplay lead Nick, who'd helped set up a lot of the framework and a lot of the stuff you see for getting time dilation even out of the gate working.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
This was definitely like
tower
a team
shots, everything, dude. It does.
I think it's probably easily the most ambitious thing we've done in Smite since the Mulligan.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I can definitely see the comparison.
So make sure to
there.
play that PTS and hit us up.
Man,
all your stuff.
I cannot express to you guys how many more applications of this there are than what you're thinking right now in chat. I mean, I know that when we were playing, on her, I think Finch got like taunted, but he stays in that taunt animation longer, so I got to kill him off a rank 1 taunt pretty easily. We were playing against a Vulcan. You'd see a Vulcan ult coming in, you drop the time dilation field, and you get so much more time to walk out of that projectile range.
We've also noticed some extremely potent counter play to this ability already, I believe just yesterday. For example, anything where you're CC immune. So Kuzimbo's ultimate, really, really strong, because you're going to be spinning and still doing your things just as normal, and you're actually knocking Olorun outside of this area, so he can't benefit from it at all.
Sure. Yeah, gods that have those CC immune ultimates and things like that. Also gods that can get on top of him pretty easily.
Right. He doesn't have movement ability. He's really got to use that one knockup. This Sanctified Field actually has a very long cooldown as well. It goes from 140 seconds, scaling down to 100, which is one of the longest global.
Yeah,
exactly.
Very long cooldown.
5. I know Jormungandr I was playing
what a cool ultimate, though.
Yeah, exactly. Knock him back.
Fen will counter him. Fen will wreck him. Fenrir is going to
one of my favorites
destroy
for sure
this
is just
guy.
going as Fenrir,
And-
ulting into it,
Yeah.
grabbing the Olorun while he thinks he's safe, and just pulling him right out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, pull him out of the sanctification.
Because he
field.
can't
This
stop
is-
the brutalize. Knockback doesn't
I mean,
stop
when you guys were
brutalize.
talking about doing time dilation,
I guess
a
if he
while
gets
ago,
stuck
I was
in a
like, there
time
is no
dilation
way
while brutalizing
anything
and you're
that
like-
can ever work. It's just it's crazy.
like
But
that
it's
would suck.
and it looks awesome.
If he's got an over 2 minute ult cooldown,
get on
Fenrir
the
brutalize
PTS.
is gonna be
There's
this
gonna
guy's
a lot of
nightmare,
interactions
so.
that we want to make sure we can only
Yeah.
test so much internally.
It's also worth mentioning that his deployable like field is a custom. It's a new type of like tech we're using for determining collisions and stuff. So this means even if you're untargetable, it's gonna know. It's gonna know if you're a projectile. It's gonna know if it's your pawn. So you'll see towers gain time dilated. You might even see the fire giant being gain time dilated. I know at one point.
Wait, you mean my teammates might be able to actually tank a fire giant properly because they'll be slow?
I mean,
It might
help them.
You know?
Okay.
I know at one point, really early in his balance, we had it when we were testing just like how far we could push time dilation.
Look at
I
that, look
know
how long you have to
Pawn
move out
was
of
able
that.
to just solo the fire giant on his own at one point.
Yeah, deployable time there was a little bit longer.
It was way longer.
Yeah,
you
so
have
it
some
looks
more
like
time.
he himself isn't time dilated, but all of his effects that are coming in
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, so you'll see like things like August, who we treat as like being CC immune. He won't be affected by time dilation.
Okay. So there is going to be some counterplay to it, but
Yep.
there's
God,
gonna
that one
do some
being able to
nonsense,
crit
and
is going to be
there's
so
no
BM.
doubt about
If
it.
you get like, if you get,
we also have,
if you
we
get
gotta
one
listen to
down
the
an
voice
entire
back here,
lane
of
and then it
course,
crits you for
for,
900, people are gonna rage. People are gonna rage. Holy
Gotta get
audio
rid of that
change.
tittle.
Attack! Defend! You are truly a shining star. I am struck with awe. Wow. I need no praise. Wow. Wow.
How many times does he say wow?
Look inward
Hello?
and see each one of your flaws, as numerous as the stars in the sky. There can be no salvation for you. Just finality. The light is Olorun you. Please do not claim that the sky is falling. I take that very seriously.
I love it, man. He really does just exude that, I'm the best sort of confidence, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. We also do have the recolor card art, which Vivian,
He just
I know you were
keeps
excited
saying
about.
wow,
As am
dude,
I.
for
I mean, this recolor
forever.
card art is just incredible.
Dude, this card looks amazing.
Wow, indeed.
Yeah, so when we did the recolor, I was thinking, what is different than his base? Because his base is already pretty similar to a lot of mastery color schemes we already have. So I was thinking we could go with the night sky or the stormy sky, which is completely opposite than like a clear day, the daytime. So what we did is we turned all the metals silver, which is kind of like the moon, the moonlight, and then all the fabric elements we turned it into a darker shade of like blue, purple.
That's a good
and all the
recolor. It's a very
embroideries
good
are, like,
recolor.
the night sky clouds. Sometimes you get that misty cloud in front of the moon, things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much how we came to the recolor.
It's gorgeous. It makes so much sense, and it looks amazing. Also have his mastery skin card art for you guys to take a look. Yeah, I just love it.
Wow.
He's so cool looking.
Wow.
I love that the skin markings are also that blue color this time around. It really fits really nicely. That just looks incredible. His whole model just looks phenomenal. I love it. I'm super excited to get my hands on him. You guys don't have to wait very long. PTS should be coming up pretty soon. Make sure you stay tuned to all of our channels for that. All that legendary
Might
is
have to play my PTS
so
at
tight.
some point.
Yeah, the legendary skin always
ones.
looks just super phenomenal.
Black and gold.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Always. That's what I'm a fan of the black and gold for sure. Guys, hope you enjoyed the Olorun show.
I did enjoy
PTS
it,
coming up
Aggro.
soon.
I
Clumsy,
did enjoy
Vivian,
it.
Josh, thank you guys very much for
No,
joining us
thank
talking
you,
about the newest
Aggro.
god.
Super
coming
you.
to Smite. Again, Olorun, PTS, play it, give us your feedback, let us know the
We will, Aggro. We will. Well, thank you guys for coming out to the stream today, learning all about the new patch. A little bit of Guardian buffs, a little bit of item changes, and really nothing crazy on balance changes in this patch. A lot of little stuff that might affect gameplay a little, but nothing that was like, wow. In terms of that. So the only big mind-blowing thing was just the Olorun release. Hopefully we can pay PTS probably tomorrow. Would be good. Would be kind of the plan. So that would be fun to get playing him and check him out as an ADC and a mid laner and all that stuff. No 5th ban added to Smite. Would have preferred that to be added. But what are you going to do? He looks rad. Depending on exactly what his numbers are, the kit is definitely in the realm of able to be broken. So we will see, given his scaling and the exact damage numbers and cooldowns and power spikes and how he interacts with certain abilities and stuff, exactly how strong he is. And hopefully we can find most of that out tomorrow, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming out to the stream. For those of you that sub, donate, all the amazing things, those of you who watch Twitch and YouTube and all those things that